Hey guys, Andrew Freund here, high above Hong Kong on Victoria Peak, where I'm about to take you inside Transformers: Age of Extinction.
This is the greatest advance in modern physics since the splitting of the atom.
A rare metal, molecularly unstable. It's what they're made of.
Bring it up! All the way! You guys have never seen a truck like this before.
Dad, you can't keep spending money on junk.
I don't think it's a truck at all. I think we just found a transformer.
If you were going to describe this version of the film, how would you describe this newfound version of the movie?
I would probably ask you to do it because I think you would do a better job. No, I mean, it's easier for me to kind of describe who I am and how the role that I play in the film. But compared to the other, it's just, you know, it's the beginning of a new, probably chapter, I would say, possibly a trilogy. I mean, I signed on for a couple more, but I'm only going to make it if Michael makes it and if there's a real demand for it after people see this. But I'm playing an ordinary guy who is an aspiring inventor and, trying to provide and create a better life for his daughter and keep her boy free until she graduates high school, and then some pretty crazy things happen. He finds himself in a pretty crazy situation, and on top of it, realizes that she has a boyfriend, and she's been lying about the fact, and he's older and dangerous, and those sort of things. Things that I'll probably have to deal with in my future. But really relatable to a lot of people, I think, because of, the ordinary guy just trying to protect his family.
I think just technologically, it's much more advanced than the other films. Michael's energy is no doubt there and never flagging, which is great. So I think you're going to get kind of everything that you want in a movie, which is you have heartfelt stuff, you have incredible special effects, and I think you have a good laugh every now and again too. We hope.
The movie's absolutely insane. Like, your mind is going to be blown, just FYI.
I can't wait. But this is why I didn't want to see it. I really wanted to see it with an audience. In a big, I didn't want to just sit in a room and watch it by myself or something.
Is it good to be bad, to play that kind of role?
It's wonderful to be bad. It's always fun to be bad. I have had a taste of playing bad guys in the past, but certainly Boss was that guy as well. But this one's just deliciously bad because he's so specific and clean, basically, about it. Sort of antiseptic and sterile in many ways, and his rage doesn't really show up until you're well into it. He's an efficient killer, basically, is what he is, with an efficient group of people that support him as well. So,
do you believe in? Is there life out there somewhere?
Oh, I've always believed that. Yeah, I do believe that. I believe we're connected, though. That's what I do believe. I mean, I think it's. I think there is one creator and all that stuff, and there are many. It says in the Bible, my father's house had many mansions, so I think there are many mansions.
I'm going to ask you this once: where is Optimus Prime?
After all we have done, humans are hunting us.
If you could transform yourself into any mode of transportation that's not a car, what would it be and why?
Probably a plane, even though I don't like to fly. I would imagine that if I was a Transformer plane, I wouldn't have to worry about crashing. And I could get home quickly, and I could go home tonight for dinner, and then be back here tomorrow to work.
What classic car would you transform yourself into and why?
You know what car I really like? Is the Avanti that Raymond Loewy designed. That one.
Done. Sold.
Done. There you go.
Done. How would Sideshow Bob describe this film?
Chaotic, charming carnage would be the way Sideshow Bob would describe this film.
Who sent you here? This is not war. It's human extinction.
I'm here at Temple Street Night Market, where just a few moments ago, the cast and I got a little personal about what advice they would give to their younger selves. If you were going to go back and give Mark advice, like 15 years ago, Mark, what advice would you give that kid?
Well, I'd tell him to smarten up, but he wouldn't listen. You know, it's one of those things where you have to really kind of figure it out for yourself. You know, life experience is the real tool that you need. So he wouldn't listen.
What surprised you the most about this business so far?
That a kid like me from Boston, who was nothing but a troublemaker, can be in a position where he can make movies and be a part of amazing movies like this. And, you know, it's possible for anybody who has a dream to kind of go out there and make it a reality.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where would you like to see yourself 5 years from now?
At home, watching my kids play. That'd be nice.
Still making movies?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, maybe a couple more of these. Like I said, if people enjoy it and they want to see it again, and Michael's willing to do it, because I can't see anybody else doing what Michael does. He really continues to change the game every time he makes one of these movies.
So when you were that young kid growing up in Florida, is this the life you could have imagined for yourself? Like, you know, obviously the TV success was humongous, and now this is literally insanity.
Yeah.
Was this the life that you wanted for yourself?
This is certainly a version of the life I imagined when I was younger. I said to my wife just the other day as we were driving along, we were talking about going to Hong Kong and then having to go to New York City. I said, holy jeez, just imagine what it was like when I was like 12 years old, thinking, I'll never say stuff like that. And then I'm doing it, I'm living it. I'm living exactly what I had hoped I could.
How would you say, like, your life and the business has changed since, like, Cheers days? I'm getting deep here.
There's more immediate gratification. There's sort of an integer of success in this industry at this time. It's always been there. Everybody was always hoping for the big kill, like instant out of the blocks, smash hit kind of stuff. That's changed television a lot. I mean, you know, it's 1 and out, 2 and out sometimes, and you think, what a shame, because in television, success depends upon basically allowing an audience enough time to fall in love with the characters, because you're not telling a new story. You're not going to make up some new joke. There's different versions of a great joke, and there's different versions of great stories to tell, but they're the human story, and it's been told and told and told and told and told. So you find original ways to do it, but you have to give people time in television to fall in love with the characters, and they're not doing it. In film, same thing applies, but Michael Bay says, you know, I'm just going to throw 1 million toys at it, and there's going to be this giant guy with a big sword, and now we're going to have dinosaurs that actually animate and run themselves around. I mean, it's extraordinary what he does. And so he's got a giant canvas that's still trying to tell a human story, and I think he's very successful with it.
So at this act in your life and your career, you know, you've won the awards, you had the shows. Where do you want to go from here? Where do you want the Grammer legacy to be?
Yeah, as a legacy, as an actor, as an artist, whatever, you know, this is when, you know, these people usually sound like they know everything in the world, is just to do different roles, just to try different things, make different noises, make more fun, make more drama, make some people laugh, make some people cry. This is what I'm good at, and yeah, I anticipate trying a lot of different things.
Does it ever get old? Are you still from that kid that was in Florida? Does it still excite you when you step onto a set?
Absolutely. It's the most exciting thing in the world. Diving into a new character is one of the great experiences of a person's life. I mean, well, in my life. I mean, I don't know. Not everybody's supposed to do this, or, you know, I mean, I don't make robots, for instance. That must be exciting too. It is to crawl around inside the imagination of another person and somehow forge a human being that wasn't there before.
So I have to ask you, you've been in this business a few years now. Could you have ever even fathomed this life, being in these kinds of like monolithic blockbuster pictures? Was this something you were always imagining?
I never had any idea that I would do movies like this. No. I don't know that movies like this even existed when I started. You know what I mean? Ray Harryhausen was still, doing the special effects. I never imagined it, and I'm so happy that it's here and that I've done it. It's been great. I mean, it's great.
What about kind of this life and being a professional actor, working actor? What surprised you the most about this?
I think the scope of it. I had made big movies before, big budget movies before, but it was really interesting because it was a lot of those movies that you do that require a lot of special effects. They're very, they can be enervating to make. It can take a really long time, and you get very tired. Whereas this felt you were doing guerrilla filmmaking, and yet you knew that there was going to be these things that cost a lot of money to create, but that were going to be on a scale that you can't even fathom. So in that way, it's the best of both worlds. It still takes a long time to shoot, but you're excited to go to work every day because it's fun. It's fun and it's funny and it's spontaneous, and that's what Michael brings to it. And you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared to just make stuff up. You have to be prepared to turn on a dime, and you have to be prepared to run a lot and scream a lot. And that's really fun.
How do you think your life has changed since you started, and how has Hollywood changed since you started?
Hollywood is distinctly different. There isn't as much of a division now between television actors and film actors, or indie actors and big sci-fi movie actors. Or the great thing is that there's this wonderful crossover now, and I think that's a really, really healthy thing. I think there is the disappearance of the sort of mid-range film. Those are harder to make, harder to get the money for, we don't see them as often. So we're seeing sort of bigger films, and then we're seeing like smaller movies. So it would be nice to see that come back again. But I think that with HBO changed a lot for us, and I think for the better. It started making movies for television that were sophisticated and obviously without commercials, and it got a lot of people who were movie stars or movie actors into doing television, and then television had to change consequently. So I think it's actually, you have a much better quality of product out there.
I'm not leaving my dad.
We need a new army.